Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of human psychology. Ever wondered how those people seem to know exactly what you're thinking? Or maybe you felt like a mind reader yourself, picking up on subtle cues from others? Well, today, I'm going to spill the beans on how to read people like a book. Imagine being able to navigate social situations with ease, understanding people's intentions, and building deeper connections. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, it's not quite that, but with the right tools and a keen eye, you can become a master of human observation. Sign number one, body language speaks volumes. Have you ever wondered how people can seem to read your thoughts without saying a word? The answer lies in body language. Our bodies are constantly communicating with each other, sending subtle signals that can reveal our true emotions and intentions. By learning to interpret these cues, you can gain a deeper understanding of others and improve your social interactions. Short story, let me tell you about an experience I had at a job interview. As I sat down across from the hiring manager, I noticed her arms were crossed tightly and her posture seemed rigid. Despite her polite tone, her body language suggested she was feeling closed off or skeptical. Throughout the interview, I focused on her cues. As I spoke about my experience, I made sure to sit up straight, project confidence, and use open hand gestures. Slowly but surely, her body language began to shift. Her arms relaxed, and she leaned in slightly. By the end, we were mirroring each other's gestures, and I could feel the connection had been made. The subtle shifts in her body language revealed her growing comfort and interest, and I knew I had won her over without needing to hear the words. Hand gestures are one of the most expressive forms of body language. Open, expansive gestures, like arms spread wide or palms facing up, often indicate feelings of confidence, openness, and enthusiasm. For example, a politician might use this type of gesture when delivering a persuasive speech. On the other hand, closed-off gestures, such as crossed arms or clenched fists, can suggest defensiveness, anxiety, or disagreement. It's important to note that body language can vary across cultures. For instance, in some cultures, eye contact is considered a sign of respect, while in others, it may be seen as rude. Similarly, the meaning of certain gestures can differ depending on the cultural context. Be mindful of these differences and try to adapt your interpretations accordingly. The way a person stands or sits can also reveal a lot about their mood and confidence level. A person standing tall with their shoulders back often exudes confidence and authority. Conversely, a person slouching or shrinking into themselves may be feeling insecure or intimidated. Our faces are incredibly expressive, capable of conveying a wide range of emotions. Microexpressions, those fleeting, involuntary facial movements, can reveal our true feelings, even when we try to mask them. For example, a quick raise of the eyebrows might signal surprise or disbelief, while a slight lip twitch can hint at suppressed anger or frustration. Practice tip: to improve your ability to read body language, try watching a movie or TV show without sound. Pay attention to the character's gestures, posture, and facial expressions. Can you guess their emotions based on these cues? By understanding the nuances of body language, you can become a more perceptive and empathetic communicator. The next time you're interacting with someone, pay close attention to their nonverbal cues. You might be surprised by what you learn. Sign number two, eye contact is key. Our eyes are powerful tools of communication, capable of conveying a wide range of emotions and intentions. From attraction and discomfort to confidence and deceit, the way we use eye contact can significantly impact our interactions with others. Short story. I remember a meeting with a mentor early in my career. As I shared my ideas, I noticed that he maintained steady eye contact throughout the entire conversation. At first, it felt a bit intense, almost as if he was reading my thoughts. But as the meeting continued, I realized that his eye contact wasn't meant to be intimidating. It was a sign of respect and deep engagement. He was fully present, listening to every word I said, and it made me feel valued and heard. This small gesture of eye contact strengthened our connection and left a lasting impression on me. It taught me the power of simply looking someone in the eyes to show attention and respect. The duration and intensity of eye contact can reveal a lot about a person's emotional state. Prolonged eye contact, when appropriate, can signal confidence, openness, or even attraction. However, if held for too long without breaking, it can feel intense or confrontational. On the other hand, avoiding eye contact might indicate discomfort, nervousness, or even dishonesty. It's important to remember that eye contact customs vary across cultures. In some cultures, prolonged eye contact is considered a sign of respect, while in others, it may be seen as rude or aggressive. Be mindful of these cultural differences and adapt your interpretations accordingly. Our pupils, though small, can be a powerful indicator of our emotional and physiological state. Dilated pupils can signal excitement, interest, or arousal as our brains respond to stimuli. For example, when someone is attracted to you or deeply engaged in a conversation, their pupils may naturally expand. Conversely, constricted pupils could indicate discomfort, disinterest, or even dislike. Where a person directs their gaze during a conversation can reveal a lot about their level of engagement and their thought processes. If their eyes are constantly wandering, darting around the room, or frequently checking their phone, they might be disengaged, anxious, or simply uninterested. Conversely, if someone's gaze stays focused on you while you speak, it generally indicates attentiveness and respect. Practice tip: to enhance your ability to interpret eye contact, try watching a movie or TV show without sound. Pay attention to the characters' eye movements. Can you guess their emotions or intentions based solely on how they use eye contact? By understanding the nuances of eye contact, you can become a more perceptive and empathetic communicator. The next time you're interacting with someone, pay close attention to their gaze. You might be surprised by what you learn. Sign number 3. Tone of voice reveals emotions. While words convey the literal message, the tone in which they're spoken can tell a completely different story. Our voices are powerful tools of communication, capable of expressing emotions, conveying attitudes, and influencing how others perceive us. Short story. I once attended a business meeting where one of the attendees, let's call him Mark, seemed unusually quiet. He didn't say much, but when he finally spoke up, it was in a low, calm voice, and everyone turned their attention to him. His tone was authoritative without being overbearing, and every word seemed deliberate. By contrast, another participant was speaking loudly, dominating the room with a booming voice, but Mark's quiet confidence carried more weight. What's interesting is that after the meeting, people were discussing Mark's points more than anyone else's. It was a clear example of how tone, not volume, can influence how others perceive and respect you. His measured pace and calmness made his contributions feel more thoughtful and important, even though his words were few. The pitch of someone's voice is one of the most telling indicators of their emotional state. A higher-pitched voice often signals excitement, nervousness, or anxiety. For example, a child might use a higher pitch when telling an exciting story. Conversely, a lower-pitched voice can suggest calmness, authority, or even boredom. Be particularly aware of sudden changes in pitch, as these can indicate shifts in emotion or thought. The volume of someone's voice can express confidence or fear without a single word being spoken. A loud, booming voice can indicate someone is confident or trying to assert dominance. However, excessive loudness can sometimes be a sign of overcompensation, suggesting that the person feels insecure or is trying to control the conversation. On the other hand, a soft voice may suggest shyness, hesitation, or uncertainty. People who speak quietly might be trying to avoid attention or gauging your reaction before committing to what they're saying. In more intense situations, a hushed tone could also indicate someone is confiding in you, signaling trust or vulnerability. How quickly or slowly someone speaks can reveal their emotional state or how they feel about the conversation. A fast pace often suggests excitement, nervousness, or impatience. For example, someone might speak quickly when they're trying to rush through a difficult conversation, or when they're very passionate about a topic. Conversely, slow speech tends to indicate a relaxed and controlled state of mind. It can also suggest that the speaker is choosing their words carefully, perhaps because they're discussing something delicate or important. Pauses between sentences may also reveal contemplation or hesitance, while an overly slow pace can indicate boredom or disinterest. Practice tip: to improve your ability to interpret vocal tones, Try listening to a variety of audio clips, such as speeches, interviews, or podcasts. Pay attention to the speaker's pitch, volume, and pace. Can you guess their emotions based on their tone of voice? By understanding the nuances of tone of voice, you can become a more perceptive and empathetic communicator. So the next time you're listening to someone speak, pay close attention to their vocal cues. You might be surprised by what you learn. Sign number 4, mirroring behavior. Mirroring is a powerful and often unconscious way to build rapport and establish connection with others. It involves subtly mimicking another person's gestures, posture, tone of voice, or even breathing patterns. When done naturally, mirroring can create a sense of familiarity and understanding, making people feel more comfortable and connected. Short story. I remember having coffee with an old friend I hadn't seen in years. As we started talking, I noticed something fascinating. Every time I picked up my cup, she would reach for hers. When I leaned forward in my chair, so did she. It wasn't something either of us did consciously, but by the end of the conversation, it felt like we had slipped back into the close bond we had years ago. It was as if the mirroring of each other's movements helped rebuild the emotional connection that time had slightly dulled. That subtle synchronization of gestures made us feel like we were back in sync, reminding me of how powerful this unconscious behavior can be in fostering trust and connection. One of the easiest ways to spot mirroring behavior is by observing whether someone is copying your gestures or mannerisms. This can be as simple as crossing their arms after you've crossed yours, or picking up their drink right after you've taken a sip. These subtle reflections happen unconsciously and signal that the person is either subconsciously trying to build a connection with you or feels a sense of affinity. Mirroring goes beyond just gestures. It can also occur in the rhythm and timing of movements, such as walking at the same pace or shifting in your seats at the same time. This synchronization can suggest that two people are in sync on a deeper psychological level. For instance, couples or close friends often unconsciously move in sync, showing that they are aligned emotionally. Studies have shown that people who are in harmony with each other might unconsciously synchronize their breathing or heartbeat rates. Although this might not be visible to the naked eye, it's a fascinating insight into how deeply our bodies respond to social bonding. The closer and more comfortable we feel with someone, the more aligned we become, even at a biological level. People tend to trust and feel more at ease with those who mirror them, making this behavior particularly common in positive, harmonious interactions. In fact, people are more likely to say yes to requests when the other person mirrors their body language, as it creates a sense of familiarity and understanding. This phenomenon is often used in negotiation or persuasion, as those who mirror their counterparts can subtly influence the outcome of the conversation by establishing rapport. Practice tip: to practice observing mirroring behavior, try watching a movie or TV show and pay attention to the interactions between characters. Can you spot instances of mirroring? How does it affect your perception of their relationships? Mirroring is a fascinating aspect of human interaction that can significantly impact our relationships. By understanding the subtle cues of mirroring, you can become a more effective communicator and build stronger connections with others. Sign number 5, the power of silence. In conversations, silence is often overlooked, but it holds a wealth of information. The pauses people take and the silences that occur can be as revealing as the words they speak, sometimes even more so. Silence can indicate reflection, hesitation, discomfort, or even dominance, making it a powerful tool for understanding someone's unspoken emotions and intentions. Short story: I once attended a negotiation workshop where the instructor shared an unforgettable story. He described a business deal where both parties had been going back and forth for hours without reaching an agreement. Frustrated, one party decided to stop talking altogether. There was an uncomfortable silence that stretched on for what felt like minutes, though it was only a few seconds. The tension in the room was palpable, and finally, the other side broke the silence, offering a better deal just to relieve the pressure. That moment taught me the immense power of silence. Sometimes saying nothing at all can shift the dynamics of a conversation in your favor. Pauses in a conversation often indicate that someone is carefully considering their words before speaking. These moments of silence give the speaker time to reflect or decide how much they want to reveal. If the pause feels deliberate, it might suggest that the person is weighing their response, particularly if the topic is sensitive or requires careful thought. Awkward or uncomfortable silences in conversation can be highly revealing. If a conversation suddenly drops into silence and both parties seem unsure of what to say next, it can indicate tension, disagreement, or unresolved issues. This type of silence often occurs when there is a disconnect between what one person has said and how the other person feels about it. Silence can also be used strategically to emphasize key points in a conversation. Pausing after making a significant statement or asking a thought-provoking question allows the other person to absorb what has been said and reflect on it. This deliberate silence can create a powerful moment where the weight of your words lingers in the air, prompting deeper consideration from the listener. Practice tip: to practice observing the power of silence, try watching a movie or TV show and pay attention to the moments of silence between characters. What do these silences reveal about their emotions, relationships, or the underlying tension in the scene? The next time you're engaged in a conversation, don't be afraid to embrace the power of silence. By understanding the subtle cues it can provide, you can gain a deeper understanding of others and improve your communication skills. Sign number 6, the environment. A person's environment can reveal just as much about them as their body language or tone of voice. The spaces they choose to spend time in, the objects they surround themselves with, and the overall atmosphere they create can provide valuable insights into their personality, values, and preferences. Short story: I once visited a colleague's home for the first time. She was always so calm and organized at work, and I wondered if her home life reflected the same. The moment I walked in, it all made sense. Her home was like a Zen sanctuary. The living room had minimalist furniture, soft lighting, and neatly arranged plants in every corner. There were no unnecessary decorations, only a few books carefully selected and displayed. It was clear that she valued simplicity, focus, and tranquility. That environment told me more about her than months of casual office conversations ever could. Her space wasn't just a reflection of her personality, it was an extension of her inner calm and discipline. When you enter someone's personal space, take a moment to observe the overall environment. Does it feel warm and inviting, or does it have a more sterile, minimalist vibe? These subtle cues often reflect how the person feels about their space, and by extension, themselves. For example, a cluttered, chaotic environment might suggest that the person is overwhelmed or has a hard time staying organized. On the flip side, an overly tidy and sparse environment could indicate that the person is disciplined, focused, or perhaps even a bit controlling. The items someone surrounds themselves with are windows into their inner world. Whether it's the books on their shelves, the art on their walls, or the objects they display prominently, these items often reflect a person's values, hobbies, and aspirations. For example, a room filled with travel souvenirs might suggest a love of adventure, while a desk cluttered with gadgets could indicate an interest in technology or problem solving. Even when you're not in someone's private environment, their surroundings in public spaces can still offer valuable information. The places people choose to spend time, whether it's a bustling cafe, a quiet library, or a trendy, upscale restaurant, can give you clues about their preferences and social habits. Practice tip: the next time you're in a public space, observe the people around you. What do their surroundings tell you about their personalities and interests? By paying attention to a person's environment, you can gain valuable insights into their character and preferences. So the next time you interact with someone, take a moment to observe their surroundings. You might be surprised by what you learn. So there you have it, 6 signs to help you read people like a pro. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you observe and analyze people, the better you'll become at understanding their thoughts and feelings. And who knows, maybe you'll even develop your own unique techniques. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Let me know in the comments if you've had any experiences with reading people or if you have any other questions. Until next time, Keep observing, keep learning, and keep growing.